Good evening. Welcome to Greenie Sports Cards Live, the world's very first sports hobby multi-stream and live auction. We are coming to you as we do every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern across multiple platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and of course, eBay Live. My name is Jeremy Levine, the man about town, and that town happens to be Cleveland, Ohio, where I'm a third generation member of the Cleveland media. Levine has been in sports broadcasting now in this city for 87 consecutive years. Greenie Sports Cards and I are exceptionally proud to have been asked by eBay to join them in beta testing this new technology that allows us to bring instant auctions and buy it now marketplace opportunities to you in real time. Alex Schott, our auctioneer extraordinaire, will be joining us a little bit later with an assortment of terrific cards that he has at the ready. This, of course, is an interactive show. You can comment on any of the platforms from which you are viewing. However, if you want to participate in the auctions, you need to head over to eBay Live. Click on the Greenie Sports Cards graphic, and you're there. eBay Live is simple and easy to use. All our cards start bidding at just $2. Shipping is combined no matter how many auctions you win, and our audience controls direction of the show. Baseball, basketball, football, wrestling, pop culture, and more. If you have a specific team or player you want to see put up for bid, let Alex know. It's really that simple. You can catch us every Tuesday evening for Greenie Sports Cards Live, then join Alex again for Call Your Shot every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Greenie Sports has grown by leaps and bounds, particularly over the last 18 months. Buying and selling sports cards, event productions, launch of an NIL custom card division, and media broadcast development. So at this time, we're going to flip the script a little bit on this holiday week edition. On the show, Greenie has a very special announcement to share that recently was breaking news. We're going to dig back and share some highlights from recent events, including our interview with Hannah Hidalgo at the Notre Dame women's basketball postseason prep rally. Sports talk show host Kenny Rhoda is going to take us around the Great Lakes Collectors Convention. We'll replay our interview with Mascot CEO Ezra Levine, who took us on an important tour around the Mascot platform, illustrating its impressive capabilities. And that's just in time for the Medina County's Collectors Fair that will take place this coming weekend, May 31st and June 1st, at the Medina County Fairgrounds. A one-of-a-kind event where pop culture and sports cards collide through a unique partnership between Operation Fandom and Greenie Sports Cards. But wait, there is more. Comedian Mike Polk Jr. interviews Greenie himself at one of the Broadview Heights shows. And we're going to give you a behind-the-scenes look at a Super Bowl commercial filmed inside the Greenie Vault with none other than Geraldo Rivera. I also promise Geraldo is not the only celebrity making his way in the world today on this show. Stick with us. We've got a jam-packed program along with Alex, who will kick off the live auction as we approach the 8 o'clock hour. Thank you for watching Greenie Sports Cards Live.
Hello, everybody. Greenie here with Card Show Live with some breaking news from Greenie Sports Cards. We wanted to come in today, and this is right hot off the press, give you guys some breaking news from Greenie Sports Cards. Friday, July 12th. Friday, July 12th at the Kirtland Senior Center in historic Kirtland, Ohio. Greenie Sports Cards and our friends at Top Notch Sports Club bring you the first of its kind ever in Northeast Ohio, a free card show trade night. Friday, July 12th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Let me pop this up on the screen for you so that you can see. Friday, July 12th, up in the right corner here, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Trade night card show, completely free. Free admission, free tables, food, free break for kids 14 and under, sponsored by our friends at Top Notch Sports Club. In the bottom here, you can see, please keep in mind, we are borrowing this from our friends at the Shipshawana Card Fest. Tables are first come, first serve, 6 p.m. Not a full setup. So bring a box, bring a Zion case, whatever you can carry in your hands, not wheeling in dollies. And we just want to make it a nice, fun, friendly, family-friendly atmosphere. We appreciate everybody that's been with us for, over 15 years of card shows. The Eastlake card shows, the Hudson Holiday Inn, the Days Inns in Richfield, the Tuesday night shows in Twinsburg or Mayfield and Rockside Road, and now at the Kirtland Senior Center and the Broadview Heights show, which has been incredibly packed the last couple shows. We just had one of our busiest shows ever. Well, actually, the busiest show ever. Well over 2,000 people came to the Great Lakes Collectors Convention. And then, the end of this month, we have our Medina show with Operation Fandom. And we just wanted to say thank you to everybody that has supported our shows for the last 15 years and bring you really the first of its kind here in Northeast Ohio, a free show for everybody. So Friday night, July 12th, let's pop that back up for you. The Kirtland Senior Center. You know it. You've been there. It's the show where everybody knows your name. This one's going to be special, though. Friday night, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's also the day before our regular show there, Saturday, the 13th. So a double dose at Kirtland. Should be an amazing weekend. But Friday night is completely free. Free admission, free tables. There'll be food, free breaks. So we wanted to break in and give you guys this information as it's just hot off the press today. So again, we can't thank you guys enough for well over 15 years of helping us, grow these shows and bringing them to you pretty much every month. Kirtland's every month. The other shows are quarterly or yearly, but again, you supported us for 15 years and we appreciate it. And we're happy to do these for you. And you guys, you show it, and every show has been busier than the next. I mean, last Kirtland was terrific. And again, so thank you. Thank you. That's what we're here to do. And we were here to thank you guys for an amazing 15-year run and hopefully 15 more years. So let's get that up one more time for you. Friday night, July 12th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So please screenshot this. Go to our website, greeniesportscards.com, Friday, July 12th. So you'll see it there. You'll see it on greeniesportscards.com. You'll see it on our Facebook pages, Instagram, wherever else you see card shows posted, you will see it. So again, thank you. Thank you. Friday, July 12th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we'll see you there. So check us out. Greeniesportscards.com. We'll have more information. Really no more, but that'll be there. So screenshot it. Thanks. See you guys.
Hey, Norm here. Actually, George. But you know that, right? There was a place once where I loved to go where I could hang out with a bunch of friends, talk sports and life. Kind of like, the Kirtland Sports Card Show put on by Greenie Sports Cards. The show where everybody knows your name. Cheers, you guys.
Hey, how you doing? It's John Ratzenberger, also known as Cliff, and it's a little known fact that there's a tremendous sports card show in Kirkland, Ohio, put on by Greenie Sports Cards, where everybody knows your name. Kind of like the place I used to hang out in after delivering the mail. So, there you go, Greenie. I'll talk to you later. God bless us all.
Hey, this is Steve with Greenie Sports Cards, and this is our first ever postseason prep rally with the Notre Dame women's basketball team. We partnered with Sean Crawford, former Notre Dame captain, and GV Art to bring a limited edition t-shirt and trading card and the ultimate fan experience here in South Bend. We have Pop-A-Shot, we have Cornhole, we have Connect Four, we have an autograph session, and we have kids opening packs with Notre Dame women's basketball. And we wanted to thank everybody to help us make this such a success for our first ultimate fan experience.
I'm Sean Crawford with Varsity House. I'm with Jeremy Levine, representing Greenie Sports, and we're here with Hannah Hidalgo. Hannah, I was just talking about it a little earlier. Like, you play with a nastiness, you play with an attitude. You're from New Jersey, and I got some friends from New Jersey, and they always bragging about it. So I gotta ask, like, where does that attitude, where does that, like, that intensity come from when you play?
Yeah, for sure. I think from Jersey, Jersey just breeds like gritty people, like people with like a different attitude, different mindset. So, I grew up playing backyard basketball with my brothers, or like being in the gym with a whole bunch of boys. So like they were always, kind of coming at me, always attacking, like they never took it lightly on me. So, I had to grow into it. Like I had to hold my own and stand for myself, in those backyard games. So.
Hannah, you're a freshman, and it's come with some pretty big expectations and some accolades along the way. You were 2023 USA Basketball Female Athlete of the Year. This year already, a 3-time Freshman of the Week, 2-time ACC Player of the Week, Naismith Women's College Player of the Year at the midseason. Sean asked about your makeup on the game. What is it about mentally that you've been able to step in this year as a freshman, a young player, and really kind of take this team and bring it together?
Yeah, I think God has just blessed me like with this different kind of piece, and I know I have a great coaching staff and great teammates that have given me this confidence that I'm able to come in and I'm able to play relaxed, because they have so much trust in me. Like the first day I stepped on the campus, they were telling me to like shoot the ball. Like they had so much trust and so much confidence in me. Even as a freshman, they look up to me and they tell me like, we look to you for energy, we look to you to get defensive stops, and so that really means a lot to me. And I know for some people it might like be a lot of pressure. For me, it means a lot to have so much trust from my coaches and my teammates.
I'm sure you had a lot of schools like reaching out to you. You were a McDonald's All-American, and I mean, you could have picked any school that you wanted to go to in the country. What was it about Notre Dame that that led you to the final decision to come play for Notre Dame and come play for Coach Ivey?
Yeah, I mean, when I came on my visit, I just knew. It was just such a family environment, and it truly like felt genuine. And I feel like Coach Ivey was the most consistent, and I see how genuine she was. I asked people about her, and it was all the same. It was like, what you see is what you're going to get. And ever since I've been here, it's been exactly that. I feel like she's just been consistent throughout the whole process, and even up till now. And she just, again, instills so much trust in me. And, she truly loves me with all her heart, and it really means a lot to me.
So Sean mentioned coming out of New Jersey, and here you are in South Bend, Indiana. What have you learned about yourself since the time you stepped on campus?
Yeah, definitely that I have a lot of growing to do, for sure. And just, the people around me, my support system has really been helping me, like, with new lessons and, like, learning how to become, like, a young woman who knows, like, how to handle herself and, like, how to handle, other people in, different environments. So, and just how to handle adversity. I'm still learning, how to do that. And, us as a team have been through a lot of adversity, so I'm still learning how to cope with that.
Now, being a freshman, this shouldn't be your first time playing in the ACC championship, and then moving on into March Madness. What are you looking forward to about that? Have you leaned on your teammates on like expectations of what it takes to come, or what it takes to win? But then also like maybe reaching out to like a Marina Mabry or a Rike, or even Maddie's sister who was on that national championship team. Have you like reached out to them or talked to them at all, or just about what's to come next?
Well, last game, of course, Drew Lou was there, so she was talking to me and kind of giving me tips and pointers of like what it takes to go to the next level, like what it's going to take to succeed at the next level. So of course I'm always hearing people who are up there who've done this, and they're talking to me and like giving me tips and pointers. But for us as a team, we just have to kind of stick together, and so that's what's really going to get us to the next level. If we're sticking together and we're playing every game like it's our last game, and we're playing extremely hard.
So in talking to some of your other teammates, Sean and I are from the Cleveland area. The NCAA championship Final Four is in Cleveland this year. Can you put yourself that far ahead? Can you look that far ahead, or do you have an attitude of one game at a time? And with that, how far can this team go, really?
Yeah, I mean, we have so much talent, and when we're all playing together, and we can make it as far as we want to, because I feel like the only thing that's stopping us from winning everything is, ourselves. And if we're playing together as a team, we can go so far and we can make it really far. I have a lot of trust in my teammates, and we're going to get better, every game. And we're taking it one game at a time, and that's what Coach wants us to focus on, is just not even just one game at a time, but every quarter, just focusing on the first quarter and then focusing on the second quarter. So taking it moment by moment.
You're pretty mature. I see why they let you play like 35 minutes a game. I was looking at it and even in the pressure moments with these questions, like you answered them perfect. I mean, you look like you play like a senior and you answer like a senior. So it is really cool to be out to watch you on TV and to watch you play, go out there and do your thing. I'm really excited for this team. I do want to ask before we get off, who was that one player that you looked up to growing up as a kid and even to this day?
Yeah, I would say growing up, I looked up to my cousin. His name was DeAndre Villamore, and I saw like how intense he was when he played, and he played with this fire, and I was like, he had so much confidence on the court, and I didn't have that confidence, and I really wanted that confidence to be able to drive and finish over bigger people, or just have that energy that would feed off to my teammates. So I really looked up to him, and as I got older and started watching women's basketball, I looked at Erin McDonald and how tough of a guard she was, just being so small and being able to finish differently and just lead her team. So.
Good. Well, appreciate you. I appreciate you coming to this event. We hope to do this a lot more. You're a freshman, so you'll be around here for a while. And we hope to connect with you more, but also provide opportunities for you to connect with the community and really take advantage of NIL. So thank you for coming out and, keep doing your thing on the court.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Sean, we just had a chance to talk to Hannah Hidalgo, and what an impressive conversation. We talked about with her. Obviously, she's an amazing player, and she's tough, she's aggressive. She was really impressive and poised in this conversation. What was your takeaway?
I mean, definitely. Like if I was, being interviewed as a freshman when I got on campus, and especially like in an environment like this where you don't necessarily know the reporters and you might be out of your comfort zone, I probably would have froze up a few times. I would have, stumbled over my words. But, now being out of college and being in a media space, like it takes time to be, that well media trained and talk that well on camera in public. And to already see her like at a pro level, I mean, it's very impressive. But that also goes to just the type of people that, are at Notre Dame, the type of people that come through Notre Dame, but also just the type of people that I think will develop with NIL, because there's going to come more opportunities to be on camera, to be, to speak to the public, to be in the community. And so I think NIL could be a great thing to help, student athletes develop great media training while they're young. And like, who knows, if they don't go pro, they can maybe find a career in it as well. But I mean, she's very impressive.
Very impressive, very impressive. And this event has been impressive too. The opportunity to bring athletes and community together and get to speak to them. And Notre Dame is coming off a really big win. They've got their final home game of the season here. They're going to enter the ACC tournament and beyond. And what an incredible opportunity to bring the fans, community together. What are you most excited about coming out of this event and moving forward?
I'm honestly most excited to just take everything. Like I feel like as being a football player, you get excited, you get into the game, and while you're in a moment, you don't know what's good, what's bad. And so I'm honestly just excited to just keep interacting with the fans, keep interacting with the community while we're at the event, taking it all in, making the most of it, but then figuring out, reviewing the tape on how, the next one could be better, because, having a local girls basketball team come out, having just a youth organization come out and, community and fans, like it could be even bigger, it could be even better. And so I think just taking it all in and, especially, I wish I had NIL. I wish I had, because I would have been trying to be at these things every single weekend, or taking advantage of the opportunity. And so I just think this is the start of something new. I think this is just the beginning, and I think it's only going up from here. Like now, when you see a player on the court, you can reflect back to a memory that you have with meeting them and playing pop a shot with them, playing Connect Four with them, where if they do turn the ball over or have a misstep, you're not so much as mad at them.
It's a real human.
Because you've interacted. We see Hannah right now walking over to the pop a shot with a young lady going to play basketball. So like that, these moments right here with these with these fans and with the youth, they're gonna remember this for the rest of their lives.
I got the chills, literally hair standing up. I mean, this whole thing's been a blur for us, trying to get to this point and pull it together. But Sean mentioned Papa Shot. There's air hockey. There's game tables. There's food and beverage. There's people playing bags and cornhole and trading cards galore and opening packs. It's really, the energy in here is awesome, and this is only the beginning, as you said. So pleasure being with you.
Yeah,
And I think
definitely.
this is the start of something to come for
sure.
not only Notre Dame, but really taking this anywhere.
Definitely.
Steve, a couple weeks back, we made a big announcement on this show and elsewhere, and we were very proud to partner with Mascot for the Great Lakes Collectors Convention. This is really a game-changing platform for us and for the industry, and pretty excited to welcome here Ezra Levine in a couple minutes. No relation, as we've seen as of yet, but you never know. So we'll get into Mascot and talk about what this is and how to use it, and particularly for our vendors and exhibitors. Really excited about this. Steve, what does this mean to you as far as a partnership goes with Mascot?
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw that this platform was in the industry, I thought, man, how do we get this in our shows? I mean, they're, with the Burbank show, with the Chantilly show, with the Philly show, Dallas, and with the vendors that we have, we thought this was a perfect match. So, we contacted Ezra and we discussed the particulars, and ultimately, came to the conclusion that this would be a terrific platform for our vendors and for the customers that will be walking around our show April 5th through the 7th.
Absolutely. And I just want to bring to attention, there's a lot of interesting things that people are saying. And one of your guys, Gary Vaynerchuk, over here, and I quote, once people understand that they're going to shit. So we can say that, not on broadcast TV, but that's a direct quote from Gary. And with that note, why don't we go ahead and welcome in the CEO of Mascot himself, Ezra Levine. Ezra, thank you for joining us and for being here today.
Of course, guys. Yeah, we're also excited about this. I think this is gonna be a really great partnership. And so, we always look for partners who kind of share our vision and share, this kind of forward thinking of, the industry and how, in particular with trade shows, how to build a product that vendors feel like promoters have done everything they can do to make the show as successful as it can be, and to help them, kind of make the show as liquid as possible. And for attendees, we're thrilled that the product has really made it very easy to find items that you're looking for when you go to these very large shows. Sometimes it's like finding like a needle in a haystack, where you can spend an entire day looking for something and you're looking for something in particular, and it's impossible to find. So we're really, really excited to work with you guys and your customers and your vendors. And I'm more than happy to be here and to explain a little bit about what Mascot is, both for the trade shows, but also for any other purpose as well.
Perfect.
So let's kind of take that back to the beginning and simplify this. What is the need that Mascot fills in the industry? What was the vision for you to fill in that gap?
Yeah, I mean, so what we found is a lot of people were interested in selling items, period, but found that selling was pretty clunky and it required too much time, and it was too long to list items, and ultimately people were looking for a better solution to list items more and faster, and to really maximize the potential of selling items. What we also discovered was that a lot of people are listing items not just on one marketplace, but on multiple marketplaces. And they were smart in realizing that by doing so, you're getting the most amount of eyeballs for your stuff and probably sell more than you would just on one marketplace. But the feedback we heard was that it's too hard, because you're putting yourself at risk for double sales. You're putting yourself at risk for negative feedback if you forget to remove the listing. Items sell on multiple marketplaces at the same time, what have you. So, we said, look, that there has to be a better way to do this, right? There has to be a way where you can, blast items out to multiple marketplaces without any additional work, without any, risk of double sales, without any, having to do any manual delisting. So that's really what Mascot solves, right? You create one listing in Mascot, and we made it very easy to list on Mascot. And you can send it out to right now 7 different marketplaces all at the same time. So you can send to 7 different places all at the same time. And when you sell on one marketplace, Mascot automatically and instantly removes the listings from all other channels. So there's no risk of double selling, and there's really no additional work in listing across 7 different marketplaces.
I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, right? I mean, it's that simple, and that's why you're here to show our vendors how simple that it really is.
Yeah, for sure. It is really simple. We're working with probably 7,000 people. Oftentimes are really high volume sellers, some of the biggest, kind of dealers in the world, some of the biggest hobby shops in the world, the biggest trade shows in the world, who really found Mascot to be of significant value to them. We hear things like, I'm selling a lot more than I was before. There's one prominent example where, sales are up over 500% using Mascot. There's tons of examples where people say, you've saved me so much time. I was going to hire 3 other people to do what Mascot can do for me automatically. So we're really pleased with the traction we've gotten, and also really excited about, the application for trade shows. I know we're talking about kind of what the core business does. And we definitely want, your customers to be aware of that as well. But, for trade shows, the real need we're solving here is that, vendors, it's a lot of money and it's a lot of time and a lot of effort to kind of set up at shows. And we want people to feel like they're getting, the best possible experience and getting their items in front of as many people as they possibly can. So when dealers upload their inventory to Mascot, we're able to essentially create a website, almost a marketplace, if you will, where people can search for items that are available on the trade show floor. And people, both attendees of the show, but also anyone in the hobby community, can then search for specific items, know which dealer has it, and then kind of buy it and browse it directly through the embedded links on Mascot.
I mean, and even for the vendors, I mean, they can search what other vendors have prior to the show or at the show.
Yeah, Steve, great point there. I mean, what we hear oftentimes is, and we were just at the Philly show and we were at Burbank, we've done this with a couple of big shows. It's a great point because a lot of dealers, they have a booth and they're sort of confined to that booth space during the show. They might have maybe an hour, maybe 10 minutes to go out and, try to acquire inventory, right? To buy inventory as well. So as opposed to having to walk around the entire show floor, they can quickly search on Mascot, find what other dealers have, and then spend that time really wisely to go out and say, hey, okay, I know I'm just going to focus on this table because they have the type of inventory that I'm looking to acquire.
Right. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, it seems to solve such a need at the shows and such a time saver for people that, like you said, and even customers that, can only come during lunch or, whatever their window is. What a need this fills for them.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, when you talk to, we've got, kind of the benefit of being at these shows for 3-4 days. But, for the average attendee who comes for a couple hours, maybe they have a kid who's pulling their leg. Maybe they have other obligations. Maybe they're coming during lunch or coming for a couple hours on the weekend. Being able to just find something quickly that they want. If they're looking for something particular, being able to search Mascot, find out exactly where it is, go to that table, kind of get that item that they want. That's for them, what could take a minute used to take hours, if at all. So really exciting applications for the uptake. From the shows we've done, the Philly show, we're doing the Chantilly show, Burbank card show, Dallas card show has really been very exciting to see.
Yeah.
If you want to kind of walk us through what this looks like when you end up on the Mascot site.
Yeah. So here's a quick example. We just came off the Philly show. It was our second time doing the Philly show. So here's essentially what a finished product of this will look like. There are tens of thousands of pieces of inventory which are uploaded by dealers. You can see some of the featured dealers in the top portion of the website. So again, there are tens of thousands of items uploaded here. If you're looking for something in particular, I'll use sort of 1952 Mickey Mantle as an example. So I can just simply type in 1952 Mickey Mantle. I'll put tops, and this is going to pull up all the 52 mantles which were actually at the Philly show. So you can see, it was predominantly based on 2 specific dealers, and you can see images when uploaded by the dealer. I should note that a lot of times dealers don't have to upload any images because we have integrations with all the major grading companies, PSA, Beckett, CGC, SGC, and TAG, where just by putting in a serial number, we'll pull in any images from the grading company's CERT database. So oftentimes you don't do anything. You could also import from, if you have listings already on eBay, for instance, you can just quickly import it. It'll take about 30 seconds. and it'll import all of your inventory into Mascot. But you can see, in this particular case, this dealer named Legacy Cards, they were at booth I, and they had a bunch of mantle cards. You can see how they priced out the item. You can then click into it. So it'll tell you what the item is. It'll tell you the serial number. It'll show you a high-res front and back image, for instance. And then if you're interested in the item, you can't transact directly on Mascot yet, but you can go into View Store. And there's 2 links that the dealer provided you, right? So they have their Instagram handle and they have their own website. On both of those, you could reach out to the dealer and say, hey, I saw your Mickey Mantle card. On Mascot, I'd love to buy it, right? That's if you're not at the show. If you're at the show, you can see where the dealer is located, because it'll say right down here in the bottom right-hand corner of each listing, booth I. So if you're at the show, you can just go over to booth I and, say, hey, I saw this on Mascot, and, kind of hope to finalize something that way.
Pretty cool.
Very cool.
Pretty cool.
With our shows, there's a very strict attention to detail and customer service. We think that's very important, because the exhibitors, the vendors, are the lifeblood of the party. And we do a lot of other things and interesting content, but ultimately we've got to take care of the dealers. And we do that through concierge service. You mentioned earlier, they can't leave their booth. So we bring food service to them, making sure they get in and out efficiently, having operations managers on the floor, doing little things like making change, having people to support bathroom breaks and those kind of things. And this is just another incredible layer of providing the ability for exhibitors to sell. And ultimately that's what they're there for, right? It's creating this atmosphere of commerce and the ability to sell. And I've used the word game changer on a couple of occasions, because what this really does is bring the virtual space into the live environment. To attend a card show in the past, you literally had to get up, go to that location, and now there's really no restriction to understanding what dealers have across the country.
Why don't we show a vendor who's never been on the Mascot website how easy it is for them to upload their inventory and not only be a vendor at the show, but be a vendor on the Mascot website?
All right, so this is coming from the perspective of someone who already has some inventory in Mascot. I would highly encourage people, if you've never used Mascot before, if you go to our YouTube channel @with Mascot, you'll see a whole host of demo videos where really, from kind of start to finish, how to get new inventory into Mascot, how to connect all of your accounts, et cetera. So this is going to come from the perspective of, I already have some inventory loaded. I'm going to show you how to add one new item to it. But then what I'm going to show you is how to essentially enable yourself for the Great Lakes Show, and how to put in your booth number, and how to get your inventory kind of available for the Great Lakes Show, so that anyone who's looking for things can actually see it. So if you want to put new items into Mascot, you'll go to what's called Sync, right here, upper right-hand corner. And there are a lot of different ways to get inventory in. One really cool feature that people like is all you need is, for graded material, for graded cards, you just need a serial number or a certain number. After you have that, Mascot essentially handles everything else. So let me go ahead and just pull up just a random serial number. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste the serial number into Mascot just like that. Once it's in there, go ahead and do Sync Collection. What's happening now is you can see the sync progress bar in the upper left-hand corner. Mascot is essentially interacting with PSA's database, where Mascot is pulling in any data that is essentially stored on that serial number in PSA's database. So it's done. Go ahead and click refresh. And this is the card that I uploaded. Actually, really, really awesome card. It's Michael Jordan's True Rookie card in a PSA 9. So I can go ahead and see, if I click into it, I can see all the details of it. So you can see what pulls in. It pulls in a front and back image of the card. Okay, so all that's there. And I can simply just enter in a price where I want people to see what it's worth, or what I'm willing to sell it for. All right, so all my inventory is in Mascot now. Now what I want to show you guys is how to kind of get this inventory ready for the Great Lakes Show. So you're going to go to your little profile icon, upper right-hand corner, then click where it says Trade Shows. You're going to see that I already created my own, sort of storefront. But if this is blank, you could add a logo. You can add a cover image, very similar to, people have created eBay stores. It'll be very similar. I put in kind of my dealer name, ESL Collectibles. here, there's two different ways you can put it in a way for people to contact you, right? So I put in just my eBay store. Again, this could be a personal website. This could be an eBay store. It could be a different marketplace. It can be really whatever link you think is most applicable to you. And then a link for your Instagram handle. So if people see something they like, they can contact you directly. Then you're going to scroll down. You're going to find at the bottom the Great Lakes Collectors Convention. Just go ahead and check off this box. When you do that, you'll have the ability to put in a booth number. I'm just going to say, just for the sake of example, I'm booth 1. You guys have put me front and center. So I'm going to go ahead then and do save changes. It'll say dealer information successfully submitted. Okay, so this part of it is done. Now go back to collection. And then just click where it says bulk actions. And click the plus button that says add to Great Lakes Collectors Convention inventory. So now it's taking all of your inventory, which is on Mascot, and making it available for Great Lakes Collectors Convention. So you can see under event inventory, this now pops up. If I click there, I can preview what my inventory is going to look like. So I can click preview store. Let me share this tab with you guys instead. So this is all the inventory that I've enabled for the Great Lakes Collectors Convention. At this point, I'm done. And as soon as we push all the inventory live, which typically happens about a day before the show, all my inventory will be there. And you can see, my images, you can see pricing, how I've priced some of these items, and you can see that I'm booth 1 at the show.
And that took less than 2 minutes. It's that simple to do. Yeah.
We've tried to design this so it's essentially dummy proof. If the three of us can figure it out, I'm sure anyone can figure it out. But again, if you have any questions, whatsoever, I would highly encourage everyone to first look at our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube @with Mascot, there's tons of demo videos on just kind of how to add inventory and how to enable it for a show. But then if there are still questions after that, please contact us. We're always available. support@withmascot.com, or if you DM us on Instagram or Twitter, we see everything. We respond to everything. So and no questions too stupid. Believe me, we've heard it all.
Yeah, I bet. No, I think this is terrific. I think our vendors are going to love this. I think they're going to find it's very simple to use. What happens to the inventory after the show?
So after the show, your inventory will still stay in Mascot, right? So from there, if you'd like, and we highly encourage, you can keep your inventory up to date, because our hope is that we continue to do, all of your affiliated shows. And so if you're doing not just the Great Lakes Convention, but also other shows too, your inventory will be fully up to date, where it'll literally be as easy as that final step of the process of just saying, hey, I'm going to the show, I'm booth this, add my inventory. You could also take advantage of what else Mascot does, right? So if you have, secondary market accounts on eBay, MySlabs, TikTok, Whatnot, Shopify, Veriswap, MyCardPost, any of these marketplaces, you can essentially connect those marketplaces into Mascot, and you could send out your listings to all those other places. So if you didn't sell the items at the show, which I really hope you do, and I'm sure you will, but if you don't, or if you buy things at the show, you can stay on Mascot. Your inventory will still be there, and you can take advantage of all the other things that we offer.
I saw, and I can't remember which show, you'll have to tell me, somebody found a $35,000 card or deal through the Mascot site.
So it was a cool story. Yeah, it was Burbank, and there was this dealer who was reluctant to use Mascot. He was skeptical if it was going to work. And after a couple minutes of poking and prodding, I said, just take your 10 best items. I'll do all the work for you. I'll get you enabled. And so he took 10 of his best items. One happened to be a beautiful 61 Fleer Jerry West and a PSA 85 with a Mike Baker gold sticker. And we enabled the show, pushed it live, and literally within 5 minutes, a collector who was actually based in, I think, Florida or Connecticut, I forget which one, saw inventory on the Burbank show site, which of course that show is happening in California. He was not at the show physically. He reached out to the dealer, and they arranged for a $35,000 private sale just because of Mascot. There's tons of other, we've got a lot of examples of similar transactions, not always for $35,000, but we had people who buy
$100 cards, $50 cards, right?
Right, and there's plenty of dealers who will tell you, people came over to the booth and said, "Hey, I saw this on Mascot. Where is it in your showcase?" So it's very exciting. It's really exciting to see it really work for value to be had both by dealers who are taking a little bit of time just to kind of get their items enabled on Mascot, and then for attendees who come to the show, they can't believe that it exists. And the comment that I always share it is, I both can't believe that it exists, and I can't believe that it never existed before. So it's great. And again, we're excited to do this with you guys, and we very much appreciate the partnership.
Yeah, no, it's
It's
awesome.
a great time to be alive. Ezra, give us those handles again. The site is withmascot.com. Where else can they find you?
Yep, across all social media platforms, including YouTube, at With Mascot on social media. Our website is withmascot.com.
Perfect. Hey, we appreciate it. We look forward to this partnership and for future shows, and even the other shows that we'll attend, we'll use Mascot. So perfect. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me on, and I will talk to you guys soon.
Hey, the Roadman Kenny Rhoda here at the Great Lakes Collectors Convention in Independence. Was here last year, had a blast. Had to come back for Greenie again this year to be a part of this. Today is Saturday, so it started yesterday, goes on today, and then it'll happen on Sunday as well. So if you're seeing this in time, come on out. If not, make sure you put it on your calendar for next year. And also the big national collector show that's coming in July to Cleveland. Greenie will be there as well. But we're here today. We're going to take a walk around and see all the different vendors that are here and all the collectors. And you see a lot of fathers and sons, like right over here. You got dad in the middle with two kids, looking for their favorite athlete or their favorite icon or hero. And it's just so cool because it brings back great memories for me when my dad used to take me to things like this, and I used to take my son to things like this. But one of the best feelings, if you're a collector, right, or if you're a sports fan, is what? Opening up cards. That's what we really love, right? Yeah, you can buy some and add to your collection, but there's nothing better than opening up cards. So we've got Fleer 1989 baseball cards that we're going to open up. And I was told we're looking for 3 cards that are like not going to make you rich, but are the so-called money cards. It's the Billy Ripken FU card, basically. He has it on the barrel of his bat or the knob of his bat. There's a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie and a Randy Johnson rookie from '89. So we're going to open up a couple of packs from 1989, and then we'll take a walk around and see what we got. So, all right, let's see here. We've got Dan Plesac, sorry, not a fan. Dan Petrie, no. Gene Larkin, Darren Jackson, Jack Morris, great pitcher. 10 innings in a World Series, 1-0 win for the Twins to claim a championship, but this is when he was with Detroit. Mark Davis, don't know him. Lenny Harris and Marty Brown from the Reds. Clueless. You want me to? I'll show a good one up here. Jeff, I don't have any good ones. Oh, here we go. One of my favorite players, George Brett. One of the greatest hitters ever in Major League history. One of the few guys that flirted with batting 400 for an entire season. And his brother Ken, I grew up in Pittsburgh, his brother Ken pitched for the Pirates, so a great baseball family. So that's the best card so far. Greg Harris, Rick Roden, Craig Biggio. Ooh, I don't know if this is a rookie or not. Let's see. Nope. He's got a couple of years on this, but Craig Biggio, hell of a player, right? Believe he's a Hall of Famer. So that's a nice card in this one. And Johnny Ray. So the best one in that, pack is George Brett. All right. So we're going to open up one more here to see if we can find that Billy Ripken or Ken Griffey Jr. or Randy Johnson card that we're all looking for. All right, let's see here. Put those down. All right, we got our stickers, Double Trouble, Ken Daly, Dave. First former Indian, Dave Clark. Die-hard Tribe fans will know who he is. I forget. But there we go. We got our first Indians. I said Indian. They were the Indians back in '89. Let's see here. David Cohn. Not bad, right? Larry Sheets, Mike Birkbeck, Jeff Montgomery, Sid Fernandez, John Farrell. There's another former Indian. And what is he famous for? After Terry Francona led the Red Sox to a World Series championship. John Farrell takes over as manager and leads the Red Sox to a World Series championship. So John Farrell, Carl Daniels, Lance Johnson, Mike Kukrow, Dennis Lamp, and Vance Law. So no luck finding the Billy Ripken card or the Randy Johnson card or the Ken Griffey Jr. card. But let's do this. Let's take a walk around and show you some of the different vendors that are here, what else you can get while you're here at the Great Lakes Convention, or I should say Great Lakes Collectors Convention. We've got a bunch of different cards. Zach Werenski, autographed jersey. If you're a Blue Jackets fan, I had the pleasure of watching him play with the Monsters when they won the Calder Cup in 2016. And then he went on to play for the Columbus Blue Jackets and is still playing, one of their best players. So you can find cards, helmets, shirts, and then it's not just sports cards, right? It's all kind of cards, like Pokemon. My son was into Pokemon. Got all the different types of packs. You can buy the various Pokemon cards, other entertainment cards, if that's what you're into. So they're always big with Pokemon. I think in the back room, we were opening up some Pokemon cards. I don't know what I got. Maybe I got a good card. I have no idea. I'll have to ask Greenie. He can tell us what the card's worth because he knows every card I think there is to man. So let's move along a little bit here. And we see some of the Cleveland Browns cards that are in place here. Nick Chubb, let's hope he comes back from his knee injury. There's an autographed picture or a card of Nick Chubb as well. We've got some old school cards over there with Joe Montana, one of the greatest to ever do it. Larry Nance of the Cavaliers, outstanding. Cleveland's all-time favorite quarterback, Bernie Kosar, autograph card there. So you can get these types of cards here at the Great Lakes Collectors Convention. I love seeing the old jerseys, right? Jose Canseco from the Bash Brothers. Gotta love that with a signed jersey, old school cards. Look at this old school card here. First ever Super Bowl MVP, Hall of Famer, Bart Starr right there. Football card from 1968. You can find that here. And one of my favorite teams that no longer exists in the NBA, Seattle Supersonics. Lenny Wilkens, Cavaliers coach, actually coached the Sonics to an NBA championship one year when they had Dennis Johnson, downtown Freddie Brown, and Jack Sikma. Some useless information that's in my head, from back in the day, but it all comes out when we're at events like this. And then you can just get a wide shot here, guys, of all the different vendors that are here, right? And bringing whatever they have to offer to this great event here in Independence. And I always enjoy coming out and seeing, families coming out like this and having a great time on a Saturday afternoon and just making memories and also adding to your collection. So check out Greenie Sports Cards on social media, the website, but more importantly, check them out if you can here at the Great Lakes Collectors Convention and then at the National. It'll be happening at the IX Center in July.
No, I can't. I've searched everywhere and I can't find their secret recipes. Okay. At least I'm not going home empty-handed.
It's Mike Polk Michael Jr. I'm here at Greenie's Sports Card Show, and I'll be honest, I don't know a heck of a lot about the whole sports card thing, but I like the vibe in here. I like that they sell hot dogs, and I'm willing to learn. Let's talk to some folks. So what's your goal with one of these when you put one of these together?
So it's to grow the hobby, the sports card hobby, the sports card industry, which, I mean, has been around for years and years and years, but it's now turned into a business. People are buying cards to flip, to sell to other people, but they need basically a safe place to come and buy the cards. You can buy them on the internet, but there's something about touching the cards.
The tactile nature.
Yeah, seeing the cards and holding them in your hand, and that's what we want to portray for everybody.
What's your name?
Rob.
And?
I'm Chad.
And Rob and Chad, you guys are here at tables contingent to each other for a reason. You're brothers.
Yes.
And you guys have been doing this together for how long?
Well, 25 years ago we were doing it for a couple years together, a handful of years together, and this is our first year back together.
After 25 years?
Yeah.
This is a big moment then.
Our last show, I think I was 22, and that was 25 years ago.
I also noticed this community sensation we've got going on here. These people know each other.
Oh, dude.
Everybody, this is it's like kind of like a weird little cult, frankly.
It is. I mean, sports cards people, I mean, you have Matchbox people that are different. You have, I mean, and yeah, it is. It's almost like a little cult.
Hello, I'm Keith Myers, K&K Sports Cards.
All right.
This is Mike Cole.
I know. And we just ran into each other. This isn't your full-time gig. This is sort of a hobby / side hustle for you.
Yep.
Where'd you get all these goods and wares?
Majority of this stuff is from me and my father's collection from the 90s.
Cool.
That has been buried for years.
That's how you got started though with your dad?
Yep, back in 87 Topps, my first sort of entry in, then the 89 Upper Deck Griffey. This was a big deal. And now I have a 15-month-old son, so I've kind of used that as an excuse to get back in to keep the generations going.
And to get out of the house, away from the 15-month-old son.
Look at that. 87 Topps. This was not set up.
No, not at all.
This is the set that got me into collecting sports cards.
Wow. Well, this is nostalgic for you. That's the set that got you into it, huh?
Yes.
Well, it just so happens we got one right here.
Aren't worth anything, I will say that.
Well, they're worth your memories.
Yes.
What is something that I should definitely stop and see while I'm here, do you think? Is there one thing that stands out?
There's a lot of people with some of the nice graded cards. I think there's actually a Babe Ruth autograph card here. Yeah.
Is that normal to have that kind of quality?
At my shows, yes.
We're sitting like kind of close to a Babe Ruth card right now.
Yeah, an autograph.
And there's also like chicken fingers in the back.
And there's chicken fingers. That's
not bad.
No, we get the best of both worlds here.
What's your name?
Charlie.
Charlie, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. You look stoked to be here and be doing this right now.
Yeah.
Is this the worst moment of your life?
No.
All right, we're gonna get through this together. What do you got here? You got some cards?
Yep.
What are you selling these?
Yeah.
Why?
So I can make money.
Making that money. What are we saving up for?
Really nothing.
More cards?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how they get you. It's one of those kind of games. How long you been doing this? 10, 15 years?
Just like a year since like COVID, the quarantine. That's when I started.
So you went to baseball cards during COVID and quarantine?
Yeah.
Just to give you something to do?
Yep.
Why did you get into this?
So as a kid growing up, I collected cards all the time. My dad was into sports media, and he would buy me packs of cards, and I'd build the sets. And I went away to college. Coming home from college, I'm like, what am I going to do with these? And I was trading them, and I would sell them. I'm like, man, I just made a car payment. And then I'm like, boy, I made another car payment. Boy, I kind of got something here.
Yeah.
And it's turned into a place where I now rent an empty bank, and I have a vault.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
so with the Greenie Vault. Yeah.
Man, where's that at?
So it's in Twinsburg.
Interesting.
Yeah, Twinsburg, Ohio. Yeah.
So it all started as a hobby with your dad, though.
Yeah.
Turned into this. You have been doing this for a while. What have you learned? What's the key to putting on a good sports card show?
There's consistency. I mean, you have to be consistent. You have to do it every month or every quarter, the same place. You can't bounce around and go from one city 1 month to the next city and next month.
That's a mistake a lot of people make?
It is, or am I going to do it on a Saturday or a Sunday? I mean, consistency, and then being nice and kind to people. You get this many people that want to come and do your shows because the things you give them. I try to keep the table prices low. You know, I promote it like crazy.
Yes.
And, you know, I want them to make money.
How long you been doing this, Mike?
14 months, maybe 15.
Wow, so you're an old timer. Why, who gets into doing this all of a sudden like this?
Well, I got a story for you. So, one of my best friends is a hitting coach for the Phillies.
All right.
Kevin Long, he's been in the big leagues forever. He comes into Columbus and it's like, hey, you got to get into sports cards. I'm like, what? I did that when I was little, but like.
Right.
He's like, no, I'm serious. It's the boom. You know, the business. Is
That's
booming.
what like that.
And I was like, okay. So the more I look into it, we go to a few shops while he's in town, and we're going all these Targets and Myers and all that. And I'm like, this is crazy. I don't want to be running around. But then at the end of the day, we found an awesome card shop in Delaware, Ohio, called New Art Cards.
Right.
And we got to go there, and I learned a lot from the business and the owner, and that's kind of where it's at right now.
What's a mistake that you made along the way that you learned from?
That's a good question. The inconsistencies. I mean, there were times when I would do a show and I'm like, nobody showed up, and it was like 4 months until I did another one.
Yeah.
And
that's like a show where I'll go on stage and bomb real hard, and then I'm just like, I'm not going back out there. And then I gotta wait like 3 months until I calm down, work through some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I failed. I did some weeknight shows. I was doing them on Wednesday nights, and they just didn't do well.
Yeah.
You know, but I wasn't consistent. Yeah. I saw they weren't doing well, and I stopped doing them, where I should have just kept going.
Have you noticed any of your coaching skills transferring to over here now that you're selling cards? Is any of this that transferable?
It's not really the coaching part of it. It's more like the customer service interaction with the kid. The customers, like recruiting is kind of very simple.
Right.
Like put your happy face on, but also like be engaged all the time and understand that, you know, we're trying to make a deal, and let's try to make sure we can get it done and not try to fight each other over $1 or $2. You know,
this is a late choice for you, as opposed to some of these people who've been doing it forever.
Yeah.
What's a hard lesson you had to learn already?
Just don't get too carried away with, you know, buying stuff and making sure you're making the right purchases with the right margins. I mean, you're always going to have some losses, but hopefully you have more wins than losses, just like you do in the, you know, in baseball.
Is there someone that you've had a thing with, like at one of these tables, where they're like, I'd like to have a table, please. And it's like, you're not welcome back here. Do you have a couple of those?
No? I haven't had that yet.
Wow.
But
must be an alright person to work with.
Yeah. I mean, I never say never, but no, I've not had that yet.
And I'm told you actually have some packets of old baseball cards that still have the gum intact.
I do. Cards from the 80s and 90s.
Wow. And so you got gums like still edible?
We're gonna find out.
You've done a bunch of these shows. How does Greenie do as far as these things go?
Well, a friend of mine, Luke, that's setting up with me here, he mentioned and brought it up, and I met Greenie at the National. And to be honest with you, it's been awesome. Like, I mean, we already told him we want to come back for the next couple shows. We really enjoy it. We felt like the crowd's good. Everyone's been good. We've made a lot of sales.
It's a good vibe here. Well, good luck to you. I got to ask you one more thing, though.
Yes, sir.
Dream card you're going to find. What are you looking for? Your white whale.
I found my dad's cards that he played in the majors.
Yeah.
And I found a.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I found a couple cut autographs.
You got those? Can we see it?
I do. Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at it.
All right. So like my dad played with the New York Yankees in 1960, like with Mickey Mantle. So they made these cut autographs.
Oh, cool.
Upper Deck, and like that's a canceled check. My dad's no longer around.
Right.
But to be able to have these.
That's amazing.
A friend of mine in the business. He got them for me.
Very cool.
It's kind of
that would be a special
one. Emotional, yeah. But you know, he wasn't a superstar by any means, but he did play on one of the best teams ever, the '61 Yankees. Who's one of the top.
Oh my gosh! Yep.
So he was the number 2 starter behind Whitey Ford. So.
No, that's pretty impressive. My dad was on city council for a year.
Hey, that's okay.
Not bad.
Everybody needs to do something.
No, it was nice talking to you, sir.
Hey,
thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mike.
Thank you. I wonder if we can find anybody around here to try some of that old gum from 1987.
I don't. We should try it.
It won't kill them or anything, right?
Shouldn't.
All right. Well, we'll find out.
Yep.
All right. Thanks.
Cool. All right.
That's it.
Operation Fandom and Greenie Sports Cards invite all memorabilia enthusiasts to the Medina County Collectors Fair, May 31st and June 1st. Experience 2 days of treasure hunting, vintage and modern sports cards, action figures, comics, games, toys, vinyl records, Pokemon, and so much more. Find your passion when sports and pop culture collides at the Medina County Collectors Fair, featuring sports card machines, trade night, and Rubber City Cosplays costume contest. For event information and special guest appearances, visit GreenieSportsCards.com.